I'm going to talk you through now a part B question from the themes paper, which is paper 1, and this is from the good and evil topic. And this question should not really be a difficult question. However, it highlights the dangers of you not knowing the specification. So on the specification for good and evil, it talks about the work of prison reformers and it names John Howard and Elizabeth Fry. Because those two people are named on the spec, this question could actually read, describe the work of the prison reformer Elizabeth Fry, or describe the work of the prison reformer John Howard. So it's really important that when you're revising, you revise from the spec, or if your teacher has made them, from your PLC, and you check what you do or don't know. Because if you didn't know anything about Elizabeth Fry or John Howard, you could be caught out in the exam despite having very good general religious knowledge. This is also one of the questions that could appear in a part B, in which religious knowledge is not really at the centre of your answer, which can feel a little bit odd because this is a religious studies exam. So previously there has been a question, for example, I think either about Big Bang or evolution. And again, candidates were getting marks for saying stuff that was not really religious knowledge. It was knowledge about Big Bang and evolution. So we're saying to our candidates, make sure you know your specification and your PLC and that you are prepared to answer a question on any bullet point or any named person on that spec. Okay, so this question is saying describe the work of a prison reformer, not describe the work of prison reformers. And so I am choosing to focus on one prison reformer because that's what the question is asking. And my chosen prison reformer is Elizabeth Fry, who I think is the easier of the two to get 5 points about. So I've pointed out at the beginning of my answer that she's a Quaker. To be honest, I probably could have got away without doing that if I was short of time. And then I've made my 5 points that I have highlighted. Remember, in your part B, we're saying make 5 relevant points. I have not used any Bible passages, any sources of wisdom, because this is not explain the work. This is just asking you to describe the work. So my first point is that Elizabeth Fry tried to improve the sanitary conditions within prisons. Prisons tended to be absolutely filthy, and Elizabeth Fry said that had to change, that the prisoners had human rights. So that's part 1. Notice I've started that section as part of her work to show I'm answering the question. My second point is educating women about hygiene and self-care to improve their self-respect. My third point, again, Elizabeth Fry's work, I've linked to the question, was about education, and I've given the examples of sewing and reading. My fourth point is about providing warm clothing and blankets, etc. for babies and children who were often in prison with their mothers. And then my final point is the campaigning work she did to get men and women separated in prison so that women could feel safe, and also female prison guards. So 5 very, very clear points. It's really important with a part B, you keep an eye on time. Just use your 5 minutes. And to be honest, if you have made 3 or 4 really well-developed points that are answering the question, you're likely to get your 5 marks. So please don't waste extra time desperately trying to think of your 5th point.